have a cool development. Now, this video is not going to be an entire, like, disassembly and assembly of this. But my wife found some parts I was looking for quite a few years. And the issues with these parts is not that we couldn't find them, is we couldn't find them for, like, what I felt like was an okay price. So, normally you'd have to get this vented platform for this wing and this base plate. And you can get this plate right here, like everything you see in this picture minus the wing, for about $3,200. Paint it to match your car. And I always felt like that was just too much money. So this is a setup on my car now. And again, this was done by the previous owner. So what they did was they just drilled into the here and mounted. I'm gonna take it apart and figure out exactly how they did it, but basically this is the factory non-plus mounting whatever. So when they did it, and they did it right, they took the motor apart and coated it out of the car. So I don't get like a weird coat, and when the engine gets hot, the wing doesn't do like a weird tilt or anything. Like, they did it correctly. But now that I finally have this correct base plate and all this, I'm going to disassemble this with my helper, who is over here doing helper stuff. And we're going to do a mock-up and see what all parts I do need, because I can use a lot of the existing bolts plus some of the bolts that came with all of this, and then I can figure out like like what I need and what I don't need. And if it all works out, I'll take it back apart and we'll send it off to a paint shop, which it's not going to all get done tonight because I got to fly back out of town. So this might come apart and get left apart till the next time I'm in town, which I don't know when, because I have like a really weird schedule. But without further ado, we're gonna get our tools together and start taking stuff apart, right? Yeah. All right, so to get this apart, not that one, we're gonna go right into there. Yep. And then you're gonna unscrew it, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, so go that way. You're gonna take that all the way out. And Daddy's gonna pop out this right here. And I don't know why I keep putting this on. Oh, I know why. To cover all that. Because it just looks ugly. Oh, you got it out. All right, hold on. So, now that she's got this out, these tips on here are a little bit magnetic. So you can hold it here, like that. And you should be able to, we should be able to like, pull that right out.
Well, if I could just get it.
Well, was your little finger reach in there and get it?
I don't know.
Because I might have to get my magnet to get that out. But we have a bolt there. Oh, you know what? I'm going to try this. I'm going to take this one out. And then I'm just going to lift the whole bracket out and see if it comes out. But I feel like there was more than... Yep, there's definitely more. Yeah, there's a lot more. So the bolts are down in there. Yeah, and then there's a couple right here. I don't know if I can see that, but right there. I gotta get those apart.
I can just cover it.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna get all that apart and we're gonna like get this going. So give us a second. Oh look, you can see where those brackets are rubbing through the powder coat on the heat exchangers. So that's gotta come off. Or I don't know, maybe I'll leave that off for a while, because that's starting to make it look bad, but then again, it's covered and it's not that big a deal. But yeah, let me get those apart and we'll go from there. Okay, I have all the extensions to get this one bolt out. So what happened was we've been out doing baseball all day and a kid's birthday party. You know how the weekends are. And my wife told the kids they can go to the hot tub. So, with that being said, the hot tub has heated up. The kids are hot tubbing. So, my helper abandoned me. But it's cool. So, I have to get out this one little bolt. And I think once I get this out, this entire section right here should slip off. And then I'll have to pry. Yep, there it goes. I'll have to pry up the, oh, that was a lot of effort just to get that piece out. I'll have to pry out that piece, or pry up the actual spoiler section, which I have a plastic shoehorn and all that stuff for it. But I'll get that once I get this. And this is definitely one of those times where I wish I didn't have fat man hands. But it is what it is. So I'm going to put the phone down so I can get in here and get this popped out. In fact, I'll set it here. And maybe... Oh yeah, you can totally see me from there. So yeah, give me a second. Let me get my 37 extensions in here. Get that. Slot it into there. Now, that is completely loose. Let's see if I can pull this out without dropping the bolt into the motor. And it looks like I can get this off, but I don't want to. There are more bolts that I don't know about. Because I feel like there are. Okay. I gotta take off another piece to get into this section. These are just little half-turn pop-out ones. I have a ton of replacements for these. I got the whole kit off of Amazon. But yeah, that loosens up this back section right here. And I'm avoiding taking the whole thing off because then you gotta take out like 3 more screws on this side, 3 more on there, basically to remove this whole rear end. And I'm trying to avoid doing that. Let me close this garage though, because it's getting cold outside. I got the back door open so I can hear the kids. Yep, that just slips right over there. And this one, same thing. This piece turns, that slips there. And then from here, this whole thing pops right out. That's the back bracket and bolt that I needed off. And this one, I wonder if I can unplug this. You know what? That is a radio antenna. So I'm not going to mess with that because I just don't want to. The less I take apart, the less I got to do later. So now this is the part that I'll bring the camera in closer so you can see it, because this part right here, I learned my lesson the last time I did it. Right? You have all these bolts to take apart, and that just takes off the bottom plate. But to get this wing off, I actually have to pry the wing up back here. And you can see right here where I did it before. And I didn't use the right tool. But if you push this up, you can hear the little motor, because it's all still there. But you'll see, push it up, and there's a few bolts in there. And once you take those off, the whole Yep, right there. Basically, you got to get all those bolts off from underneath there. And then I also think this back plate comes off too. But I'm not going to take that off. I'm just going to take all the bolts to get this off and then go from there. So again, I'll set this down and I'll start working on that. But I need to come out of this hoodie because it is, now since I closed the door, it is hot in here. So yeah. So hot. Woo! Okay, that took me the better part of half an hour. I got the door open so I can hear the kids in the hot tub, and I just hear them having a blast out there, and I am struggling with that. But I finally got that bad boy off right there. So now I'm going to remove the rest of these bolts here, pull out this old motor, and install this base plate, which ironically, the base plate looks the same. But I don't know why they have all this motor thing and why you would need to spend all the extra money to get, like, less is more. So why wouldn't they use the same plate and you have to use a different plate? I mean, the brackets do look a little bit different, but that is just so odd to me. But yep, let me get this off and we'll go from there. Okay, so I got the motor out. This is what it looks like. It's that little motor right there. And what I'll do is, I'll try to sell that. And I want to sell that for $400. And I want to sell that for exactly $400 is because this $3,200 setup. And by the way, this is the actually Audi V10 Plus wing. I think by itself, it's a couple thousand. But I got this entire setup for $400. And I couldn't be happier. So, yep, $400 gets that, the wing, and whatever else. But yeah, I finally got all that off. Honestly, the way both of these brackets look, with the exception of this center, let me set it in here. But with the exception of this right here, they're pretty identical. There is not much of a difference. It's the same screw, the same bolt patterns. Everything just mounts right back together. There's not a whole... yeah, there's just not a lot of difference on there. So now this will be the fun part, getting this all back in here and seeing what all I'll need to purchase to get this set up to work on my car. And then getting it to a body shop, and then I'll probably put it all on here. And then I have a friend right up the road, Collision Motorsports. Or actually not Collision Motorsports, California Motorsports. I can't believe I had a brain fart on that name, but I've been doing business with him for years. He did repair work on my wife's Vet when she hit some debris on the freeway. Her Yukon, we had a lady back into her in a parking lot. He took care of that. My truck, someone backed into it, and he took care of that. And I mean, he does phenomenal work. So shout out Rami. I'll be sending this over to him once I get it set up. But now that I'm looking at the inner workings of, like, you know, the turbo, and I can see the blow off valve and everything, like, man, this thing looks freaking sick. But I have an announcement about this turbo kit. It's nothing crazy, nothing bad against Sheepy or nothing like that, but Actually, I can just say it now. Right here, these are Sheepy Elite stickers. Everybody knows what they're about. But I'm taking the stickers off. One, if he wanted like branding on my car for that, he should have did the embossed ones and did like the black logo that he does on every other car. I don't know why he did on this car. I don't know if this is just cores that he can get at the time. But I feel like he kind of shorted me on that. So those stickers are coming off. One, for that reason. And two, I get picked on a lot. And when people see that, they just automatically assume that, you know, this car is like some monster that goes down the road. And I will be really honest. I have my kids with me most of the time when I drive my car, either my son or my daughter. And like, I'm not trying to race anybody. I just like the sound of the turbos. I think I've been real adamant about that. Like, this car is a monster, don't get me wrong, but I've been really adamant about, like, I don't street race. I might do little spurts here and there, but I'm not a street racer. That was the younger me. And as far as street racing goes, like, I could pedal with the best of them, but I just, like, I got kids now. Like, not really my thing. It's cool to watch, cool to spectate, but it's just not me. So those stickers will be coming off. If people ask, like, what kind of kit I have on the car, I'll still tell them it's a Sheepy kit. I have nothing, you know, but good things to say about it. Everybody that down talks Sheepy, I always say, oh, where did you take your R8 to get twin turboed? Where's your car at? And they shut the fuck up then, you know, like it's that simple. Like, hey, I have what I have on my car. I've had no issues with it. Knock on wood. I'll do that again. Knock on wood. But I've had no issues with it, so I'm not going to speak bad about the guy. Even some well-known influencers and YouTubers have been like, oh, Sheepy this, Sheepy that. I'm like, dude, like, I realize what product I bought when I got it, and I get it. Like, if you make a living doing YouTube and you beat your car every day, stuff will break. Like, that's just the nature of the beast. I drive this car in casual mode. I have not beaten on it all the time, and I've had no issues with it. So everybody that I've seen that has issues with their cars are the guys that are beating the living crap out of their cars. You know, and they're like, oh, the part broke. Well, yeah, you didn't get it up to temperature. You start doing donuts, and your car, you know, tore up. Like, I let my car come to temperature. I cruise it. I'll do pulls here and there, but I don't hurt my car. I am what they call a true car enthusiast. I feel like this car has a soul, and I want to be kind to that soul. But with that being said, like, if you run up on me and I'm solo in my car, I will give you the business, because, you know, there's not a lot of cars that, yeah, I don't see a lot of taillights when I'm running, like, when people try to run me down the freeway. Let's just put it like that. But, yeah, that's where I'm at, and anyway, sorry to get off on that rant. Let's get back to putting all these parts together and seeing how this is going to mock up. Okay, so I found some cool stuff. Or not cool, but interesting things. So this grill here has a few nuts missing, and they go right here. So I'm going to replace those with some new locking nuts and washers, which I have some spares of. That way I don't have any like rattles and stuff back here, because I think that would drive me crazy. So hopefully I have these nuts that have the plastic insert in them, so it's like a little washer built into them. And oh man, money, that sucker fits. Man, I'm getting good at this. I was really nervous about doing all this, because normally I would just, and I don't want to be that guy, but normally I would just drop this off at the body shop and be like, hey, here's the parts. Put it on. But I figured I'd give this a shot because it just didn't seem too crazy or anything. But yeah, those fit perfectly, so I'll be replacing those with these, and I don't have to worry about them backing off or walking out or anything. But what they do is they bolt down to the chassis, and then right here, that one right there, it bolts down to that bracket, and that's what keeps it all settled in there. But the other question, or I should say not question, but concern that I have is, and let me move some stuff so I can give you guys a good example. The wing on here, or this back bracket on here, it sits like this. And it sits down in here. But the plug for the, anyway, long story short, this right here will hit the tit on the wing that I have. So hopefully it'll sit in there flush. Again, I'm not like super bummed out if it doesn't, but hopefully it does. So I'm gonna get this buttoned up, and again, we'll see how it goes. Whew, bear with me. Okay, check it out. I think that looks so much better already. And then the cool part about this wing, or this setup, is I can go, if I chose to keep that, which I don't think I am, but I can go between that style and this style, depending on my mood. But I just think that looks so much cleaner. And I can already tell too with this setup, well, besides that, because I did force that in there, I think this is more stable. But I already see an issue, and the issue that I noticed was the gap. Look over here, that looks very, very, very OEM. But then you come over here, not so much. I really got to get that touched up. But yeah, and I tried to adjust it, but it lines up perfectly. Like, it just lines up, but it just has a wide gap over there. And I know for a fact that, see how that one, it's the same length and everything. Maybe I'll try adjusting it over or something and see if that helps. But, yeah, that's the only thing I can see is like this gap right here. So maybe I'll look at another R8 and compare. But I think that looks so much better. So I definitely am going to have to get this thing painted white, because it looks better than this flat piece, or the flat white one right there. And also, this one will let more heat out of the motor, which heat hasn't been an issue with this car. Like, it just hasn't, but the more heat I can get out of there, the better I am. But yeah, I think I'm going to button this up. Oh, I do have to take this apart because I forgot to put these brackets back in. So a lot of this has to come apart, and then I'll tighten all this stuff up. But yeah, check that out. So finally, I call that a win. Oh, actually, we're not done. We are not done by any mean at all. I have to get in the car and start it up, and then make sure that the camera around. I have to make sure that I don't get a check engine light, because for the motor on the wing, on the original one, it was coded out of the car, so it never activated. Like, if I pushed a button in the car, it does nothing. But someone did tell me that, like, if you unplug it, it'll see that it's not there anymore, and it will have a check engine light. And even though the car, you know, has a Motec and all that stuff on it, it'll still throw a check engine light, and I think I'll have to have it coded that it's completely gone. Or I thought about it, I can actually undo. Let me show you. I can just unbolt this motor, plug back into it right here, and then have the motor in there down to where it's like there, but again, it'll do nothing because it won't have the actuators hooked up to it or anything like that. It'll just be the motor, and that's all the car needs to see. But I might be getting ahead of myself. In fact, let's take the wing off. Let's start the car and see what it does. And I have to say, man, this wing is like a freaking dinner table. But no, that's definitely the OEM one because it's definitely smaller. Yeah, the wing that's on here now, it's massive. Like, I could sit my kid up there and like put her Happy Meal there and she could eat lunch just fine. Because, whew, the only thing I would like, I wish this wing was a little taller. And I don't know if I want to spend the money to get a taller wing because, like, it's just not that big a deal, but I kind of would like to use my back mirror. And the issue with that wing is it was right in my line of sight. So like I look back, I have to kind of like do one of these or do one of these. Like I can see over the wing and under the wing, but I can't see through the wing. This one, in fact, let's just grab a key and see what we see. Did you have fun swimming? Oh, you're gonna go back in?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what time is it? Oh, it's still early. We can go. We'll go hot. I'll go hot tubbing with you. She's excited to go hot tubbing. But yeah, let's hop in real quick and look and see what it looks like looking out the back mirror. So I'm in. It's about the same. Oh, you can see it over that. I think it's a little bit better because it's more flat. And the other wing, it was kind of tilted a hair. So you're like seeing more of it. But this one being flat, I think I can just see past it. You know what? I'm committed to it. I like it. It's better. End the conversation. So let me take that all back apart. Get those other two pieces back in. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to permanently mount the wing because, again, I want to send it to paint, but that's not like something that has to be done like right away. But what does need to be done right away is getting these parts back in here because I don't like how when you look down here you can see all the stuff I don't want you to see. But yep, let me get started on that and go. So I found an issue. It's not a huge issue, but I found an issue. The wing that I bought, the aftermarket wing, the quality's pretty good, except the holes don't line up very well. So what I'm trying to do now is, because it's carbon fiber and the other piece is aluminum, I'm putting a bolt in here, or not a bolt, but a tiny screwdriver, and I'm attempting to line the holes up so I can get out of all the bolt holes. Yeah, 1 minute, all right? 1 minute, okay? So if you look here, that lines up okay, but not that great. That doesn't line up at all. Let's take these out so you can see. Again, this one lines up okay. So basically the two back ones line up, but the two front ones don't really line up. It kind of lines up, but not enough to my liking. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently persuade it to line up. So Yeah. But I think what I'm going to do is after I get this lined up and kind of like where I want it, I'm going to save the rest of this project for the morning because it's getting late and I got to go hot tubbing with my kids. Alright, this should only take a second. I did not have success. I almost had success, but yeah, I don't want to force it too much. But I noticed when I was tightening it down that the gap is not ideal. The contour is right, so I know that's correct. But yeah, not so great. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish this up in the morning because it's getting late and I have to go hot tubbing with the kids because I fly out tomorrow. So this will have to take a backseat till tomorrow morning. So what will be an entire night for me will be a for you. I'll see you in the morning. So it is the next day and I have my helper back. And I didn't lose sleep over this, but I did think about it last night. And I came down here and my daughter was kind of tinkering with it and she was like, she got these two in and she got that one in. And it was just this one that was having an issue. So I was like, you know what? I was prying on it yesterday with a little flathead screwdriver and it was kind of going. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just use a ratchet strap. But my truck is out of town, so I don't have my ratchet straps that I normally use. So I came up with this nifty idea. And I came up with it because she was playing with a rope in here this morning. So the ideal was, let's fold this up, mamas. The ideal was to loop a rope. Let me back the camera up. Loop a rope around the entire thing. Whoops. Don't worry about that. Loop a rope around the entire thing and tie it back into itself like a bowline with a bunch of half hitches backing it up. Then on the side that I'm tightening, I put a screwdriver in there and we spun it clockwise. And by doing that, it brings it together. And all I needed was like maybe 4 millimeters. So it basically it's flexing the carbon this way, which eventually, like, you know, once it's too much pressure, it'll crack and break. But I don't really care. I'll just get another wing that is better quality than this. I noticed this hole over here, and on the other wing that came with this the factory wing, it doesn't have that hole in it. But the factory wing does sit a little bit lower than this one. So now that we have that bolt tight, that bolt tight, those bolts tight, there is a slight, ever so slightly gap under there.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, and that hole there. So with that slight gap there, I think that's supposed to be filled in with a little rubber gasket or something. I'm almost positive it is. I don't have that right now, and again, this is temporary until it gets painted, and then it'll get assembled correctly at the body shop. So now I'm going to pull my rope out and hold it right there and pull, pull, pull. Watch your fingers, okay? Because I don't want that to snap your fingers off. Okay, this is going to look really weird, but I gave my daughter the phone to hold it. I'm not mad. It's kind of funny. I hit record and handed it to her, but I think she hit record too, so we didn't get to show you us taking off the rope. But that's her rope back. And you're going to show us how you tie some knots? and show us some cool stuff. But anyway, yeah, we pulled the screwdriver out and then untied the knots, and yeah.
I made one.
So it's holding. Oh, cool. It's holding pretty solid. So I'm gonna mount this on the car, see what it looks like, and then button everything up. And then, like I said, the next time I come in town, if I'm in town for more than like a week or so, I'll just drop this off at the body shop because this is actually light work for them. And I think they could knock this out in like a day or so. So I'm going to get this mounted up. Oh, I do have to fire up the engine and see if I get a check engine light. So I'm going to set the camera down. You guys can watch me put this back together real quick. I'm going to clean up all my tools and then I'll pull it out of the garage and start it because I don't like to let the car run in the garage for too long. But yeah, bear with me. Okay, I found another cool, interesting thing about the car. And I don't know if you remember a few moments ago, there was a piece that I forgot to put on. Well, I took everything apart, I put it on, and now I realize something I'm going to show you. This is the piece that I forgot to put on. It does like a little this way, down and under, and then it ties down to this. It doesn't do much of anything except cover this white right here, in my opinion. It doesn't do a lot. But now that I have it on, this tit down here hits this bracket, and the wing will not sit flush with the car. Or I should say the plate won't fit or sit flush with the car. It's too early. I haven't had breakfast yet or coffee. So over here, same thing. You can see the whole thing flexing. So once again, I'm going to remove the wing or this plate, remove both of these pieces, basically weight savings, and then put it all back down so it sits more flush. I'll keep the parts and take them to the body shop so maybe he can modify them, or if they're not, or if he deems them not necessary, he'll just, you know, repurpose them or get rid of them. I don't know. But yeah, that's where that is. But tell me that doesn't look much better than this one. And people will have their opinions. People will say this one down here looks better, but I don't know. It just doesn't to me. But yep. So let me get back to it. So, just like that, she just left to go do baseball stuff. But just like that, it's done. And by done, I mean it's assembled back on the car and looks good. So for me, I'll say on a scale of hardness to change your rear wing, 6 out of 10. Not bad at all. If I had a little more patience and this was going to be like the final thing, you know, I'm just kind of like throwing parts together to see what I need and don't need. And it turns out I don't need much. So yeah, 6 out of 10. Not hard at all. Nothing crazy. The panel gaps are a little crazy, but again, body shop's gonna take care of all that for me, so no big deal. Let's make sure the window closes the glass. Oh, that lines up really good. Check it out. There's the edge on there. That looks pretty good. That looks okay to terrible. That looks pretty good. But it's weird because it all kind of like, it lines up pretty good. I mean, I guess this can go a little bit that way. Gap back here looks pretty good. This, I can't stop staring at it, but again, that's terrible. This gap, terrible. This one up here, awesome. So I guess this piece could have went that way a little bit, and this could go that way a little bit. And then it would be dang near perfect. Oh, also the gap under here, because it doesn't have the rubber piece that goes underneath there. So if you look there, if I zoom in, you notice it all day long. But like I say, I like it a lot more than the other look. And then, like I say, it looks like a freaking dinner table. In fact, I'm gonna go get my little girl and see how she sits under it. Kaylin, come here real quick. So when she was younger, we went somewhere. I think it was like McDonald's or something. And we had just ramped her, so the car wasn't hot. Come here, I want to see something real quick. The car wasn't hot, and I sat her up here, and I put her Happy Meal right here on the other wing. And she was able to eat it, but the drink wasn't able to sit there. All right, mamas, come up here. I want you to sit right here. Let me help you up. And before anybody starts freaking out, how much do you weigh? 43.6 pounds. So this is the perfect dinner table or lunch table or breakfast table for her. So now when we go to our little car meets, I can set her up here with her little donuts and her little chocolate milk, and she can just do her thing and chill. That's all I wanted. You can hop down. But I'm going to wrap this video up with that. We're going to say peace out, like, and subscribe. You're supposed to say like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Because everybody forgets. You don't even have to subscribe. Just like the video. That's all I want at this point. I have like, I don't know, 200 subscribers, and like 10 of you guys watch the videos. But yeah, like the video. Oh, before I go, let's start this up. And get a... I'm going to start this up and make sure I don't have the dreaded check engine light, because if I do, I got to take all that apart, put that motor in there, zip tie it down. I'm going to start the car, so you might want to get down.
This is the dinner table too?
Yeah. Alright, I'll go in the house. I don't want it to be really loud in here. Alright. I forgot what I was saying. I got distracted by the kids. But, yeah, in the mirror that looks way better. I'm going to, let's see, get my adjustment. Oh yeah, that's so much better. Thing's loud. Alright. Let's pull it out of the garage so I don't fumigate the house. And no check engine light. So let's give it a second to like finish diagnosing the car. And I want to show you another sucky thing about running E85. Look at that. I have a little less than half a tank, but I have 90 miles till E. So when I fill this car up on E and I'm ripping here and there, the car only goes about 120 to 150 miles. But on 91, because that's all you get in this crappy state, it'll get like 320. And that's even with like kind of ripping it. But I will say that when I'm on E85, I definitely drive like an asshole. Definitely. But 91, not so much because the power's not there. It's there, but it's not quite there. But yeah, I'm really excited to say that there's no check engine light. Oh yeah, the next thing is going to be taking those stickers off of those parts. And yeah, so with that being said, I'm going to end the video. Peace.